You may have seen him at the Moth or at UCB or at his one-person show last fall called Peach Fuzzy. Please welcome Mr. Mark Pagan.
I really don't like the expression, you just need to get laid. I feel like when my friends say it, what they're really saying is stop talking about her. And I feel like it doesn't apply to me. Like, I'm sure there's some of you in this room who, your friends may say that to you. They may say, you just need to get laid. And you can take that and be like, yeah, I do. And you go and you do just that, and you can leave it at the door. You can be very, very relaxed about it. But if you and I have sex, you're probably gonna meet my family. I'm not casual about it at all. And I envy this a lot, people that can do this, because I am a serial monogamist. I am not proud of it. And my friends, a little under 2 years ago, a bunch of my friends, they were all saying this because Katie and I had broken up. And we had been together for about 3.5 years. And it was one of those relationships in which I had gotten to the point where it's like, I'm ready to do the next thing. And we just weren't in the right place. And when it ended, I was devastated. And so I did that thing that we do when you break up and you take a step back and you're like, I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna break a major pattern here. And so what I did is I took a look and I added up all of the years that I had been in relationships, monogamous relationships, and they had added up to 15 years. Like a quinceañera of relationships. And I was tired, man. I was just tired. And I was like, enough with this, you need to get laid, BS. I just need a break. I need a real break. Because I saw two possibilities here. Either I take that advice, I go and get laid, and I end up in another relationship, and we're just gonna be repeating this thing. Or I don't at all. Like, I take a step back, I do my own thing, and I cut out desire from my life, which I thought would be really easy. So I go with that second option, and the first month is fine because I'm grieving a relationship. I mean, to be honest, it's basically impotent, so it's not like I had a risk of giving anything to anybody. Second month, a little bit more. Third and fourth month, it was summer in New York City, the most attractive place in the world, and I was dying. And it got to the point where I'd be walking down the street, and if I saw even just like a little bit of shoulder blade, I had to divert my eyes, so I would just walk and just look at the sky. And I was bumping into things and just making a fool of myself. And I was like, well, maybe it's a good time to do my other pattern every year and go to the least passionate place in New York City, which is Lens Crafters. And I wear hard lenses. I've been in a longer relationship with hard lenses than anything in my life. I love them. All right, you don't have to keep buying them. And the thing is, I got astigmatism in my right eye, so I got to go see my doctor once a year, and we got to change up this eye. And so the pattern is, I show up there, we do the first week, and it takes multiple weeks. He has to order lenses, I have to try them on, wear them for a week, come back in, see what's going on. But I'm loving this, actually, because it's like a cocoon of asexuality inside there. There's no desire, it's just science, it's great. And so I'm having these like non-dates with my doctor. And he's like, what's going on, Joe? How's this lens? I'm like, oh, it's fine, I can't really read this, blah, blah, blah. He's like, all right, we'll try this one. And the problem is, like, I'm still having to go out in the world. I'm having to go out in the world, and this has been months. Like, I'm building up this tension. So this takes 6 weeks, this process. I finally get this great lens. It comes in from Rochester, New York, of all places. And I come in for my appointment, and I'm fucking nailing it. I'm getting that bottom line every single time, like F, G, T, U, V, V, give me another one. And he's like, I think we got a winner. I was like, oh, we got a winner here. He's like, all right. He goes, great. All right, you're good to go. We'll set up an appointment for sometime next year. He goes, there's just one more thing I need to do. And I don't know what that's called. He took that mechanism that you look through away from my eyes. And he kneeled down, he goes, look into my eyes. And he got about 3 inches from my face. And he took his thumbs, and he put his thumbs underneath my eyelids, and he just pulled them down. And I was looking in his eyes. And when he put his thumbs on my face, I said, And he goes, I'm sorry, my fingers must be cold. And I was like, no, don't stop. I need to do that. And so he reapplied his fingers, his very moisturized fingers, to my face. And it's just everything, all the sound went out in my head. I just kept going, oh, take this in. Like I had handshakes and hugs in the amount of time since the breakup, but I hadn't had sex. I hadn't even kissed somebody. I hadn't had somebody look into my eyes and put their hands on my face. And for the first time in my life, I said to myself, oh my God, I need to get laid. So I saw two options here. Option one, once the fingers are released from my face, I leave and I just take that moment for what it is, and try and break my pattern. Option two, there's a very chiseled, unshaven face, 3 inches from mine. Very young, olive-skinned man. What if I just got a little bit closer and we locked lips? Like, what would he say? Would he be like, I'm sorry, I'm a doctor, I can't do this? Or would he be like, oh, let me just turn off the lights? And all of a sudden, LensCrafters just turns into a bordello. Now, like, to be honest, I've never been with a man before, and I thought about the next steps, like, all right, well, what if, maybe that's the change that I need? And then I can, I'll call home. I'll have to make that phone call home. And my mom's a pretty open woman, she's a pretty open woman. So I don't think she would be shocked about that, but I know that her next response would be like, did you say he's a doctor? And we're like, yeah, I'm dating a doctor. And then it's me and Dr. Raj, and I can finally afford couches from like Pier 1 and stuff. And we get together over dinner and order good bottles of wine. And I'd be like, tell me more about my eyes. And he's like, you're a very rare case, Mark. I'm like, I know. And he can say things like, I think you were meant to be a doctor. And I can say, I know, I think so too. But I don't want anything from Pier 1 Imports, and I don't want to be a doctor. And unfortunately, he's handsome, but I don't want to be with Dr. Raj. And so I do neither of those two things. I do leave after a long, awkward silence. And it's not overnight, but it's sometime over the next few weeks. I get online and start dating. And I do get laid. And I do get in a relationship. And so I don't know what to say here. Like, there are things that I do really well. There are things that I haven't broken yet in terms of patterns. But, like, maybe that's just not who I am. Maybe it's not that big a deal. But I will say this. I'm thinking about trying soft lenses. Thank you.
I think LensCrafters should definitely adopt that as their new tagline.